Welcome, namaste. So come in the first posture to bring the feet together and slowly roll down to butterfly. And then you just relax your whole spine. Start with the neck. Slowly going more into the mid-spine, lower spine, and as last the hips. Just relax. Make sure your breath is long and deep in the belly, but more in a relaxed way. So don't force it, just relax. And after time, checking if the muscles are soft, you're really sinking into the fascia, 9 layers of fascia in and around your spinal cord, between the vertebrae and all these big layers of fascia in the back. Important is that you are knowing all the time that you are relaxed and that the sensations of stress or pain is not running upwards. Then you are too far, then you need maybe a prop for under your head, for under your knees. When the sensations are getting less and less and you don't feel anything, see if you can change. Maybe you using too much props. So the perfect stretch is that the sensations are all the time the same, the continuity in it, and slowly you come up 8 and 5 minutes in it. So then bringing your feet more together and closer to the pubic bone and come in a very deep butterfly to go more into your hips and just sitting straight here. Just let your knees falling out. If you have a beautiful view like me here, you can stay with your eyes open and just observing and let the view coming in, including the outer world and your world, becoming one. So here, breathe deeply. Just let the legs be heavy. And then we change, so cross your legs and step back to a downward facing dog. If you want to move a little bit or stepping with your right leg forwards and come in the one leg dragon. So what it's about is the extension in the back leg, the left one, so you want to lengthening there. And in front leg, the right one, we have a very deep flexion in the hip. So if it's too much, you can come more forwards with your hands more on the floor or on the inside, or use a lot of bolsters and cushions. You can come a little bit more closer with the weight forward, so what they call this an overstepping dragon. But make sure the front knee is not painful. If the knee is weak or painful, then stay with the 90 degree in your knee joint so that the knee and ankle are on line. And otherwise, just go for it, coming over. So also your heels may be coming a little bit off the mat, so be stretching more in the Achilles tendon. That's a very good area to work in the urinary bladder meridian. Also the stretch of your hip flexor, you work in the stomach meridian, spleen, also liver and kidney meridian. And just focus on to be soft in this more young pose, because we are more away from the earth, more straightening up. So then it's getting less yin. Just allow yourself to sink into your hips, into your pelvis, into your SI joint, the joint where the ilium is coming together with the sock. And we work in there because one leg is forwards, the other is backwards. And a lot of people, one, get very stiff, and that's why the other is getting overloaded. So it's very, very healthy to work on the mobility of your SI joint. So allow yourself to sink deeper and deeper into your pelvis. And also here you can stay with your eyes open, look into the view, or stay with your eyes closed. But then we change a little bit in the posture to come a little bit more deeper in the hip flexor. So you rotate a little bit, maybe you bring your left elbow down, your right hand on your right knee. You can look up or look down, and it's like you almost go to your side, but you're not yet on your side. So now also really hang into your hip joint of the left. Coming deeper and deeper in the ellipsoas muscle and the other hip flexors, and so also the stomach and spleen meridian, to calm down, to get more peaceful mind, no worries, not spinning wheels, not making from something small something big. So really let go. Breathing. Walk your hands maybe a little bit more in. Bring your hands a little bit to the other side. Step back to a downward facing dog. Again, pedal or staying still, or you can also do a all fours. And then when you're ready, stepping with the left leg forwards. Again, one leg dragon to the left. Target area, the hip flexor on the right. So when you're coming more up, you stretch more this hip flexor. You can also go with your hands more down and going with the weight more forward, so you come more into your Achilles tendon. And then try to hang in your pelvis. And again, just look around, seeing your view. If you have this beautiful view, it's India, the trees, the palm trees and the sea. But if you're home, you have no view, just close your eyes and maybe even daydream that you're in a beautiful spot like me now. So relax deeply. Just check, where is your mind now? Just notice. Come back to your breath. And then you go into this twisting dragon, so you go hanging more into your right hip flexor. So it's like almost turning to your side, but not yet. You turn your shoulders a little bit, your right hand down or with your elbow. And you can have your left hand on your left knee. If you have a lot of bolsters, you can bring bolsters into your pelvis area, belly area. So you go hanging on the cushions and the bolsters. Go deeper and deeper in this hip flexor area. Are we tidying up? When we are stressed, when we sitting a lot, and you can have your hands in the middle, both hands. Even you can walk your hands a little bit to the right. Just stay breathing. Relaxing. Just a couple of breaths. And then coming back to a downward facing dog. Moving in the downward dog, or if you like, you can also go to all fours. Doing cat and cow. The next posture will be an open wing. So you go down, you go with your left hand on shoulder high to your side. Then turning to the left, and when you're turning to the left, walk with your left hand a little bit more even to your side. So you have a stretch in your chest area, arm, and when you're stepping with your foot over it, you can walk your foot more further away so you get more a twist. The leg who is under the left, you can bend so you have more balance. I like to have my right hand in front of me to press myself a little bit more into the twist. And this posture is really good to opening and giving space for heart and lungs, and work into the long meridian. Long and heart meridian, and running from the center of your chest into the arm. The long is ending in your thumb, and the heart is ending in your little pinky. So make sure you feel a stretch in these areas, armpit area, chest area. So if you don't feel anything, check if your arm is on the same level like your shoulder. Maybe you have to walk your hand a little bit more forwards to get a deeper stretch. So I recorded this class in January 2000, before the pandemic of COVID. But this routine will be very helpful for the COVID, because we're working in at a long meridian, and the dragons we were working in the stomach and spleen meridian, and spleen and the lung and the large intestines and stomach are a loop. They work together. If one is blocked or has a disbalance, all the other four get maybe also some areas where you can have disbalance. So it's like one big river, one big loop of these four meridians. So to take good care of the lung and the large intestines and spleen and stomach, it's good to work on the upper body to open, but also on your hip flexors to open the body, giving space. And when I'm doing this, I feel right into my lungs some sensations. Sometimes you have that. Some people feel that right away, and some you maybe don't. And this meridian I feel, so maybe I have a disbalance in lung. Once a nature doctor told me that my family lung energy is weak. Yes, I have one line and groove in my thumb. So just breathing deeply in and out, and then it's almost time to go out. And then turning back to your belly. And then we go to the other side. So you go with the right hand on shoulder height, walking all the way to the right. With your left hand, you pull yourself over, turning to your side. Stepping over with the left, walk your left leg further away so you get more twist into it. The leg who's under the right, you stay and bend maybe a little bit to have better balance. The target is the chest area and the heart and lung meridian. And how more you walk your left leg away, you also work in the hip flexors, so that's the stomach and spleen meridian. And if you don't feel anything in the tired area, see if you can walk your hands more up or more down. Most people need to go more up. I see also in class that sometimes people ending just with the arm just all the way, like next to the ears, but that's also too much. So then walk your hand more to your side. And with your left hand you can push yourself more in or out. And relax, maybe take a couple of deep breaths, then you feel also that the lungs maybe has a difficulty now because you're stretching, you're creating space. Just melting down. Just relax. When the arm is falling asleep, then probably there is some blood vents blocked, or when you feel more electric shooting sensations, that's probably somewhere in the nerve system where it's blocked. So then you can better come out or placing your hand in a different way. And sometimes it's nice to have maybe cushions under your knee or in between the knees. And then it's 5 minutes, so slowly coming down. And then take your time, maybe you want to lie down a little bit longer in a rebound. Or coming in the swings or seal posture, like a big back bending, elbows only your shoulders, or stretching your elbows and work your hands maybe closer in, so you have a deep back bending, like me. And the target area is now the compression into the lower spine. The front is getting more open, so sometimes you can feel also stretch in your abdominals area, hip flexor area. With most people, the compression is first, and you feel that first. And compression is sometimes good to give compression on your bones. The bones are getting more stronger. But too much, too long is not recommended. So if it's too much and you feel the compression, it's getting more and more, then you probably are too deep. So then walk your hands more forwards, or go on your elbows, or what sometimes also is nice to have a bunches of cushions under your chest area and just hang out on that. Try to relax your shoulders, relax your jaws. You can have your head all the way backwards if you like. Or to stretching also the throat area. And the throat area is also an important area for the kidney meridian, stomach and spleen meridian, also the liver. But also there, if you feel the compression in your neck, don't do it. Or when you feel too much tension in muscles, don't do it. You can also have your head just neutral or hanging forwards. And if you are in the swings, you can use props to let the forehead rest down. With the legs, you can have them like me, a little bit wider than hip distance, but you can have them smaller or wider, what you like. And I like to have every posture like 5 minutes. But if the 5 minutes are too much, you come early out of the posture. 3.5 minutes is recommended, because that's the time that fascia need to get more looser, that the stickiness is going out of the fascia. But that's what we want, but also we want to have the circulation of flow of water, the hydration. And with 3.5 minutes, you have already a good flow. But with my own practice and the more than 17 years I'm teaching, I noticed that people really get more out of it when we stay 5 minutes in it. People feel more this afterglow, this chi flow. It's really a flow of relaxation. People are also much more deeper into the savasana, and when they are on retreat they sleep much better, because they go out of the yin class right into the bed. So slowly you come out, you can lie down, feeling the sensations, feel this afterflow, this flow of hydration, and when there is hydration, chi, energy can flow. And then push yourself slowly back to all fours, or going to child's pose, what you like. And then when you're ready, we go right into the settle pose. And the settle pose is that you're sitting on your heels, and then walk your hands backwards. Maybe you stay there and trying to tilt your pelvis a little bit more that you have less compression and more stretch on the front of the hip flexors. Maybe you have a body like me and you can lie down all the way down on the mat, but most people, they cannot do that. So then it's nice to have a couple of cushions and lie down on the cushions, or just stay with your hands or elbows leaning on it. And you can also decide to maybe just stay in child's pose for this 5 minutes when the seal or the swing was already too intense for you. So in Yin, it's all about what you feel, not what the teacher is saying. It's a guideline you follow, but then you really feel, is this good for me or is this not good for me? And that's sometimes very hard to decide, because sometimes something is not easy at all and it's really uncomfortable and you don't want to do it, but then it's actually very good for you. And sometimes you feel like this is not good and you really feel into your belly, this is not good. So then most of the times it's not good, but sometimes the lazy body is speaking to you and don't like it. The maybe rigid mind is speaking to you that you don't like. And sometimes just the body cannot do it. So maybe the knees are very painful, or the spine is very painful, or the quadriceps is way too short. So listen to all of that, to the physical body, to also your feelings, how you are today, your mind, how is the mind doing, and how is your energy. And sometimes you have to take a break, you have to be very kind for yourself. And sometimes you have to be tough and feel like this is exactly what I need. I don't like it. It's not easy, but this is what I need. So learn to trust. Learn to trust what you feel, your intuition. Learn how you are and what you need. And that's something that's sometimes very hard. It's easy to following guidelines or rules than taking the responsibility for yourself. And that's something what we really need, because most of the times nobody knows what is good for you, or they think and they say, but the only one who knows is you. But that's, you have to learn to listen to what you need. So really bringing your attention in, looking with a magnified glass into yourself. And don't go with this judging mind. Don't go with, oh, what will other people say or think. Really being the observer, and just see what is good for me, what is not good for me, what is helping, what is making maybe it worse. Especially when you have injuries, that's very hard. Because to do nothing, the injury is not healing that quickly and good. When you do too much, it's also not healing that good. So you have to find the middle way. Little stretch, little movement. So for me, it's better to go now with my hips a little bit up so I can bring one leg by the other out of it and then stretching my knees, but not everybody can do that. So then you just leaning forward, so you come with the head up and you use your hands to come up and maybe lie down on your belly. And then when you are ready, you turn maybe to your back and lie down on your back. So also here, listen to your body, how to come out of the pose. And now just notice the sensations. You are very deep into opening the front body and having a compression in the lower spine, two intense postures. So some people really need to round the spine, and like bringing your knees to your chest and make some circles. Or when you were going forwards out of the pose, you stay in maybe a child's pose. And then when you're ready, you're stretching your legs and come in the deep relaxation. Like a rebound experience, the after effect of this postures we did. But we are not ready to stop, so bending your knees and place your feet down and place them on the distance of the mat. And you can do this windshield wipers to the left, to the right, and then you can bring your knees to your chest and make some circles. And when you're okay, contracting your abdomen also, rock forwards and backwards. Make sure your knees are a little bit wider, and then slowly come up to sitting. And just sit for a little bit here. So using maybe cushions for under your knees, or sit on a folded blanket. And also here you can close your eyes, or you can have your eyes open when you have a beautiful view of the future. And then we go doing Nadi shodhana. So bring your right hand out front, and then bring your index finger and middle finger in the palm of the hand. Place your thumb on your nostril and breathing in to and the left, and then you change, you go with your fingers closing the left nostril and breathing out to the right. And then you're breathing in to the right, closing the right, breathing out to the left. And then breathing into the left again. And then breathing out to the right. Breathing into the right. And breathing out to the left. And do that on your own pulse, on your own rhythm. So alternate breathing, Nadi shodhana. If it's not feeling okay, choose breathing through both nostrils. Breathing with the diaphragm. So in the belly. And then you're ending, breathing out to the left. And then bring your hands to together in bending forms. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a beautiful day or night. And don't forget to like and subscribe.